Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Joining you on another Monday for news. And this week has quite a bit of news like usual, but also some great game releases, some great software updates. So this is a fun one. But, I think the big news or release or anything from last week was without a doubt Asgard's Wrath 2 launching on the MetaQuest. And, it got a 10 out of 10 off IGN like a day or two before it came out. So
which is pretty big in itself.
Yeah, and all the meta creators that had early access to it, their ambassadors, they were all preaching very high about it. It's a game that if you bought a Quest 3, you're getting it included with your headset, but it's completely optimized as well for the Quest 2. I believe the 3 version runs at slightly higher frame rate or something like that. But other than that, it's pretty much a 1-to-1 on each headset. I mean, it's really squeezing the juice out of the Quest 2. And that seems to be like a source of the majority of the 1-star reviews, oddly enough. People that got the game for free with their headset on the Quest 3. There seems to be a group that's bombing Asgard's Wrath 2 with 1-star reviews, just saying, hey, it's not optimized or it's not enhanced for the Quest 3 yet.
Well, currently, because I think when I had checked, it was 13% at that time, 1 stars. So of course, got to go down the rabbit hole. But I think in the big picture of things, that's going to get squeezed out by the majority of.
Yeah, I'll pull up their total reviews and stuff.
5 and 4 star
right now. But initially, they were responding to the reviews saying, "Hey, we hear you. We hope to have something out early next year." And now they've switched and they're saying, stay tuned. There's something coming very soon, which is bittersweet. It's great for us as consumers. Woo, a Quest 3 update. But man, the holidays are right here. These guys probably worked so hard for the last couple of years making this game.
4 years. Yeah.
They finally put it out, and then it's like, it's the holidays.
Well, and I kind of have my own personal theory to the, it's a pound for pound, the same exact experience on 2 or 3. But the how big the 31 gig,
60-hour campaign or 60-hour game.
Yeah, if you're a completionist, then you're in it for weeks of gameplay. If you played it like a full-time job, you wouldn't have it done in a week. So anyways, they've had 4 years. The whole focus on this was getting it to run on the 2.
It was the only headset out
it was
that
being
they're
worked
focusing
on
on
before the 3 was, even announced. And they knew they were successful in like, look, we can do a really good product on the 2, and it's not real buggy, it's not janky.
It's squeezing the max juice out of it.
We'll give everyone a good experience. And in the short term, because the 3 is right here now, we need to make sure that it'll run as equally well on the 3, and then we can.
That's logical.
100%. I'm not because I did see people going, you had 4 years to work on it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, they did, but they had 4 years to technically work on it to make it run perfect on a Quest 2.
The Quest 3 just came out a couple months ago. Yeah, they've probably known about it as a Meta-owned studio the whole time, but I mean,
you can't, you can't. I got no bitch in that department. I'm not upset about it. And if I know that shortly down the road, I'm gonna turn on my Quest 3 and fire it up, and it's gonna look better. Shit, man,
because it already looks
beautiful.
Good. It does. I'm not super
beautiful.
Sinzaru Games, they crushed it with this one, so I hope to see those 1 stars go away.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and for people that it really does grind your gears for whatever reason, the team's hard at work. It sounds like they'll have something out soon, but I also don't think it's. You look at it, like you were saying, it's a huge game, 4 years to make, 60-hour campaign, or 60 hours if you're a completionist.
And it's working fantastically.
Yeah. How long do you think a game like that takes to go through and upgrade to squeeze more juice out of the Quest 3? I mean, quite a bit, because you gotta go through everything. Then you got to make sure it's still functioning.
I would think at least 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame them that they don't have the
out of the gate.
Yeah. I mean, come on, people.
It would have been, come on, man. And let's be honest. The only people that were playing it were people who got it early and, you know, other people and such. So it's like, it was safer to do it the way they did it than risk. Maybe
having
they could have done
bugs
some
and
enhancements,
issues.
but then you're going to release this
Correct.
what potentially is like one of the largest games in VR I've ever personally played, and it's
Definitely
gonna
for
run
the
like
Quest.
shit. It's like, no, I'd rather take your time with it. I'm content. I've got a lot of ways to go. I've only done an hour past the intro screen.
Well, the intro screen. What's cool about this game, you know, we haven't gone super deep into it like you just referenced. You know, I mean, it just came out the other day. And there's so many releases and so much to play, you know, but they did it great for people that haven't played Asgard's Wrath 1.
Take you on a little journey.
Yeah, you go in and they're like, have you played Asgard's Wrath 1 before? Do you need some catching up? And you can hit yes or no, which I think even if I did play Asgard's Wrath 1, I would still hit like catch me up just to see what that content is, you know?
Are you sure you would have?
I don't know. I can't know because that's not my case. But in my case, I did press yes because I never played Asgard's Wrath 1. And they take you through like a trippy, psychedelic, freaking awesome lore explanation of the universe and kind of what went down.
Yeah,
And
I've never quite digested a storyline in that manner before.
No, and I will say, could I understand things a little bit better? Yeah. I mean,
100%.
yeah, it wasn't like
But I'm not upset about it at all.
But if we're going to talk as like a cinematic presentation and filling you in, I mean, dude,
I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, but they really do a good job with scale. Like they take advantage of. Yeah. I'm a believer that big things in VR blow you away in a way that like it would never in flat screen. In flat screen, you face a big enemy, they're just big, you know. In VR, like they're in front of you. So some of the images and the creatures that they show you, even just in that intro clip, man, they crushed it. And then they pop you into like a tavern and kind of teach you the controls and some mechanics. And then the first big battle is pretty epic right off the top too. And they do a good job because cinematic trailers are a tough thing to do in VR.
To have it smoothly transition.
Correct.
To make it like there was actually a part, and I'm not, I know you might know what I'm talking about during the tutorial where I actually thought, I'm like, is this how this is going to be the whole thing? Am I able to not move in this game?
Yeah, they do drag that a little bit, but it's so well done that.
But no, I remember even during the thing, I was like, there's no option for me to quit this. I felt like, all right, I get it. I know how to fucking move. You know, we're good. And then I'm like, dude, I don't see an option to go to the main menu. So I'm like, I'll just fucking let it play. And at the end, I was so upset that I came that close to
skipping that.
I'm like, man, I would have been so bummed out.
Yeah.
If I knew that I had missed that.
So if that's how the first hour of intro and cinematics and introduction to the game is, I'm excited for the next 59. I mean, the game looks so far really good. I'm excited to go into it.
Who knows if that even counts towards the 60 hours.
And to my knowledge, this is the first 10, right? That's actually a good point. This is the first 10 out of 10 from IGN for a Quest VR game. The reason I emphasize Quest is because Half-Life Alyx on PC VR did get a 10 out of 10. But
pretty much from everybody.
Assassin's Creed, the same reviewer for IGN reviewed Assassin's Creed Nexus, and Asgard's Wrath 2 gave Nexus a 7 and Asgard's Wrath a 10. Asgard's Wrath 2 a 10.
7 sounds a little
low for
whipping
Nexus.
posty.
Yeah, I feel like 8 or 9 is solid
9
for Nexus.
I definitely would argue against.
I wouldn't give a 10 to Assassins. I think 8 is very fair.
I'd go as high as 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, there's a couple of things that have.
But if that got a 7 out of this guy, you know, and Asgard's Wrath 2 gets a 10, you know, I'm so excited to dive through this. So huge props to Sanzaru Games, technically Meta as well, because they own it. And I'm sure that they have invested so much resources into this. You know, congratulations to the whole team involved because, you know, it looks freaking good so far. You know, that initial combat sequence, the initial cinematics, I have high hopes. It came with my headset. You know, if you have a Quest 2, it's $60. I mean, that's enough incentive to upgrade to me, you know? I'm going to buy the game anyway. Buy Quest 3, you know, you get it.
Do they still offer it with the game?
I believe that goes
Or
until
does that
January.
promotion? Okay, the promotion will end though.
Yeah. They're not going to do that forever. It's the ultimate incentive to be an early adapter of the headset, in my
It
opinion.
makes sense to end it in January after the holidays.
Right in time for the end of Christmas. Absolutely. I'll try to get the exact date that the promotion ends as well. But no, I'm excited to dive deeper into Asgard's Wrath 2. Still have to finish Assassin's Creed Nexus, but at least we did finish Arizona Sunshine 2.
I'm close though.
To Assassin's Creed 2 finish, or Assassin's
definitely.
Creed Nexus?
Definitely.
Yeah, you're actually, I was ahead of you pretty much this whole time we've been playing. And I've had a very busy last week or two, and then we were talking the other day, and dude, you're significantly ahead of me now.
Yeah, I took advantage of the fact that because it's end of year, I have to use a
some sick time and stuff like, or some vacation time and
just
stuff.
vacation time.
Yeah.
I get a lot of vacation time, and you can't carry over but a certain amount of stuff. So
Hey, you got no choice.
it's not just me; it's a whole bunch of people that are like, "Yeah, all right." Yeah. So yeah, so anyways, I've been taking advantage of that. And then I just found out that this Thursday I won't be working either. So
Look at that.
I'm hoping to finish by Thursday.
Yeah, have it done this week. I got some catching up to do.
Oh man.
But we did.
So it's such a fun fucking game though.
Yeah, the story of it is phenomenal. The environment.
Well, and I mean, true to like all the historical accuracies is really important.
I agree. The historical element of it, like being able to visit a Boston in that era or a
Boston?
Venice.
None of them
or-
had accents. I was disappointed. I wanted to see all the aggression and the rudeness.
No, they crushed it. So I'm excited to go back into that one. But
And it's not forced history either, because you don't technically have to grab anything.
no, but I
to
get a nice kick out of it.
Yeah.
Even just like when it pops up the codex page and you just sit there and you read, but I enjoy it. It's nice.
I like how, yeah, if you go to a certain area, then it's almost funny sometimes because it's pretty obvious what the situation is. Like, okay, this is a gallow. Then you'll see the little informational cube there. Grab it.
Yeah.
It tells you like the
This is
gallows in 1776 were.
But hey, that's true to the Assassin's Creed series. So yeah, they crushed it.
They did not deviate.
I'm excited to have that one beaten so then I can really focus on Asgard's Wrath 2. But
Yeah.
hey, again, we did beat Arizona Sunshine 2.
Yep.
I'm proud of us. You know, that one was...
We didn't beat it. We finished it.
We finished it, yes. That's actually a good thing to say because I think I'm down to go back in on higher difficulties.
Yeah. Well, how many more are there?
I think that we played on normal.
Normal.
I feel like that there's 2 above that. I feel like there's like hard and the nightmare or something like that. So, I mean, hey, got to double
Yeah,
check.
definitely do the hard mode.
We'll see what goes on in the hardest. Sometimes those hardest of the hard is just like cruel, you know?
Yeah, I always question how, dude, it's like the extreme levels on Beat Saber or any of the rhythm games. It's like, really?
Sadistic.
Is someone honestly doing it? And then you'll see like that like 8-year-old kid on TikTok and shit busting out beats and standing perfectly still, just like
all casual
bored.
with it.
Like, man, why do my parents make me do this every day?
No, but I'm excited to go back into it. But without giving a full review or anything like that, I can confidently say I had a blast in co-op doing the story.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, having that VR dog buddy, the whole adventure, we took full advantage of it, dude.
Wolfie.
Let's not get into that.
His name is Wolfie.
Let's not get into that because I'm going to start dropping spoilers with some passionate opinions in a minute.
I know.
But
We have to wait so long before we can do any spoilers for this. Because the story's good.
the story was good. Yeah, I do.
Story was good. The ending was good.
I feel like the ending was capped off a little like not out of nowhere because you knew the ending was coming. But I mean, when it happened, you're like, that's the end. That was your words. But I know why they did it like that. And we can't say why they did it like that.
I can say something without spoiling it.
Okay.
Because it instantly reminded me when we went through it, because we played it 100% co-op. Neither one of us have played it single player, which is probably something we should do also. In the original The Blob movie, we're going, I think, to the black and white. If I remember correctly, they froze the blob on an ice skating rink like type situation. And then as the movie ended, you saw a little piece of the blob coming out of the ice.
So you knew that there was going to be a blob too?
That's what you had to assume.
Mm-hmm. No,
so I don't think they're going to stop this.
Yes, it was
franchise anytime soon.
Without spoilers, I could see an Arizona Sunshine 3 because I feel like that there's more to be said.
I'm betting they're probably already a year into Arizona Sunshine 3.
Yeah, but Vertigo Games crushed it with that one. So without a full review or anything,
the dog interaction is just awesome.
Yeah,
and it makes it. If the dog wasn't there, it'd probably be a little more scarier.
I agree.
Than when shit's going down and then you see your dog just jump out and take one down. You're like, yeah.
And they did a great job. We talked about it last week, but with integrating the dog, if the dog wasn't in there, great game still, but it's also not just a lazy use. He attacks, you use him for certain areas.
He helps you, man.
It's quite a bit. Yeah. And the voice acting is amazing. The dialogue, the writing for that of your characters, just self dialogue with himself as he picks things up and just shit happens is freaking hilarious. There were sometimes you were in tears at what he was saying.
Oh, his voice acting was great. And the sarcastic humor, the little innuendos. It's like,
no, they crushed it.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. So,
and to the reviewer that said that they couldn't handle the dog whimpering.
Ooh, it gets worse.
Nah, man, they just missed out on some really cool shit that was coming up.
No. I'll just say that they're lucky that they hopped out when they did.
No, there's so much better shit down the road.
But so one down, couple more to go with Asgard's Wrath and Assassin's Creed Nexus.
Asgard's Wrath.
2. I should have specified that is important. So 2 down. Still got. I'm sorry, 1 down, 2 to go.
Well, here's what I'm praying that that everyone knows that this just got released, so there's not going to be any more big drops coming for the next couple of weeks.
I'm hoping. Give me till February.
I just want to be able to
give me till like February or March before
be able to focus.
Well, because here's the thing: it's not like that they're dropping these multiplayer games. It's like most of the best releases this year have been kind of either roguelites or multiplayer games. We haven't gotten a plethora of story-based games. And then out of nowhere, we get Genotype, Vampire the Masquerade, Asgard's Wrath 2, Assassin's Creed Nexus, Arizona Sunshine 2. It's like, whoa. Why all the story-based games like 2 or 3 months apart, bro? This is brutal. We had all year to do this. So I agree. Give me till February, March.
Everyone take the holiday off, huh?
I got a 60-hour game to go through, and I still got Nexus to beat. So it's a busy holiday season, but I'm not complaining. Look how great of a year of releases this has been. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like so many of my favorite games in VR have come out this year. And I loved VR in 2022, but it's like if I had to go back in time and I would open up my headset library and see what was available, I'd be like, damn. What am I going to play? All of my favorite games at this point are coming out this year. It's amazing. It's been a great one. And on that, another great game that we had some early access to, but we had to stay tight-lipped, and it was hard because it's such a great game. And it finally came out, Racket Club, the newest game from Resolution Games, and it is so much fun. It's its own sport that takes elements of tennis and racquetball, where you're kind of in like that box area. It's kind of a combo of both games. They call it Racket Club. It's available to play in VR and in mixed reality. And as well, they have a single player kind of career campaign mode where it's just tournament. So it's really fun. And then they also do have multiplayer with duos and singles, and they have like a playground, not playground, but like an area to go and meet up with other players.
Area of courts.
Yes, a kind of public hangout area, for lack of better term. So the game is so much fun. There's that addicting one more match element to it. The only thing I'll say, and this isn't a negative either, it's definitely a game that I like to play in mixed reality more than virtual reality, because the play area that they give you to play racquetball or Racket Club is quite freaking big in your room. And I don't trust myself like that in VR. I already caught myself the first time we played it. I was getting...
No, if you got a decent sized play area, you're all right. But
yeah, if you're in like a tighter living room in an apartment or something,
or you got cats and dogs,
I personally enjoy the mixed reality, and the way that they do the mixed reality in the game is really good. It's not immersion breaking, and if anything, it's its own more immersion in its own way. It is so much fun. It's like I have confidence to go to the right, go to the left. So it's a game that I'm glad that they integrated the mixed reality. Their integration of it is really immersive, and in my opinion, it's actually even a better way to play.
I'm just happy that besides looking good, that the functionality of it is spot on. I mean, the physics work great. You can learn your own particular shots that, will work on returning. You get extra points for volleys. I mean, so it's like they've done a great job, and I can see the tournament, like the
league play.
Yeah, it screams it, and it's the matches aren't very long. So far, anybody I've seen who's actually played it seems to be enjoying it more than they probably thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree 100% with the mixed reality that, because in my situation, we get two cats, and for whatever reason, when I'm in VR, they like to hang out near my feet, and some of the shots come low, and you'll scoop hit it, and I already know, like, if I had hit the halo, I probably would have clocked one already.
But in mixed reality, what's up.
Oh, you have so much more control, it feels like. So it is funny that it's a game that certainly didn't need mixed reality to be a good experience, but it works phenomenal in mixed reality. So,
and for my personal situation, I actually enjoy it more. I remember the first time we were playing, my girlfriend was watching TV, and every minute I was hearing, "Hey, can you step out from right in front of the TV?" And I was so immersed playing Racket Club.
Yeah, you're gonna reach for it.
I kept walking right in front of the TV, like walking right in front of her view, So yeah, I definitely enjoy it a lot in mixed reality, and it's so addictive. It's so much fun. I love the offline tournaments because it's a game that you feel yourself get better at. Like when you think of
when you first start, most definitely.
Oh my goodness. So it's like your improvement doing the offline tournaments against the CPU. I mean, that'll really help you get good at the game before you go to take it competitively. We did play each other, and you put a whooping on me. Pretty good.
Yeah, we haven't played each other much since.
No, and I think I'm doing a little better in the offline tournaments too, so I'm just saying.
It's fun. You can use the walls to your advantage.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of strategy, dude. It goes in depth.
My favorite shot, though, oh man, when I can pull it off, is I return it from, like, if you hit it to my right side of the court, I'll lop it over to your left side and try to pop it right into that corner, the back corner. So no matter what, it's gonna hit so low that you can't get the up scoop on it. Just little take my damn points.
But it is like a combo.
Fun as hell, though.
Yeah, it's a combo of racquetball and tennis.
It also screams racket attachment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of time.
Because the actual racket to scale, it's not like tennis racket size, so it's almost like, to me, a little bigger than a ping pong table. Or I'm sorry, table tennis racket.
Yeah, no, I think it's made for
ping pong.
It's a matter of time before somebody gets an attachment made for one of those 3D printed ones or whatever. Hello Real gets on it or something.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that it would only enhance the immersion.
A little bit of the weight. So yeah, I'm loving it though.
Yeah, I'm having a blast with Racket Club for sure. So you want to take a quick ad break? We'll take a message from our sponsors before we get too deep into this pony. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the rest of the news now that we kind of got aside the games that we've been playing the last week and finished. But like before every ad break, I always like to plug that, in case you didn't know, we do have a Patreon server and a Discord server. The Discord server, we say it all the time, is the place to be. Been getting a lot of new peeps the last couple weeks, a lot of good VR hangouts and conversation and life discussion, food discussion, pet discussion.
Dude, the happy hour. That I think Amelia's the one who's really responsible.
I think it was the second one that they've done so far.
Went 4.5 hours yesterday.
People hanging out, showing off tech stuff, and just chit chatting. So yeah, no.
I think Classy Grandma said she's cleaning up her laptop so she can actually do video. That lady cracks me up. Man.
Yeah, Classy Grandma's awesome. So yeah, I mean, if you're not a member yet, go check out the Rough Talk VR Discord if you're a fan of the podcast for VR discussion and just cool hangouts and stuff like that. Game meetups.
Yeah, game meetups you could probably do it every single day.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a matter of time.
And of course, there are the community favorites in the Discord as well, like Walkabout Mini Golf is quite popular. Synth Riders is one that goes,
Yeah.
I've noticed the social VR worlds are
If it
quite
was
popular.
Beat Saber, I would show up to those.
I love Synth Riders too. I actually
I
think
like Synth Riders.
Synth Riders is a lot of fun. I think I like Synth Riders a little bit more than Beat Saber.
Well, if it was Smash Drums, you would do that over Synth Riders, right?
Yeah, 100%. And we have some Smash Drums news to talk about after. But besides the Discord server, we also, like I said, we have a Patreon server where you can kind of support the podcast and as well get some perks as a listener as well, like on-air shout-outs or your name across the bottom of the screen on the video, like a rolling ticker, a whole bunch of cool stuff. Access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server just for Patreon supporters. And as well, these supporter tiers are also available directly through YouTube. It's literally the same exact ones as the Patreon, so don't feel like you have to do both or you're missing one on the other. I don't want people to accidentally double dip or anything like that. But yeah, you can support us directly through YouTube as well. And like before every ad break, too, huge shout out to the following Patreon members on our on-air shout out tier. We got Mike Morbid, Asim, Amelia, Crispy, Shoes, Jake, and Earth Witness. So thank you all for your continued support. Like I say every week, thank you to the listeners that continue to, for some reason, tune in to us babbling about the latest and greatest in VR news and all that stuff. But
it's a lot of traffic on the way to work.
Oh, yeah. I know we've done some shorter episodes before and we've gotten a comment of, hey, my work commute's a little bit longer than...
You stretch that out about 8 to 12 more minutes.
So hang tight,
Gotta get coffee,
We'll be back with you in just a moment after this message from our sponsors. This month we have Soul Assembly with Drop Dead The Cabin. Really hyping up their mixed reality mode.
Talking about mixed reality.
Yeah. We're having a blast with it.
Way too much fun.
And we've actually seen some people go, like mentioned in our Discord, that they tried it out. Like I believe Brain Spam did. He's one of the people that, along with King
Didn't he
Canuck,
finish it?
Yeah, he finished it. I think he said his third attempt. And him and King Canuck.
Dude.
Yeah. But wait till the leeching layer. I actually think the leeching layers update did come out the other day. But wait till, nonetheless. So him and King Canuck, they're like the resident Ghosts of Tabor badasses in our Discord, to say the least. And yeah, so he picked up the cabin, like we said, beat the mixed reality mode in the third time and said he was loving it. I've seen a couple other people.
I can't believe someone beat it in 3 tries. That's
impressive. But look how good he does in Ghosts of Tabor. So obviously...
Oh, so he's just bringing over the Tabor guys.
Correct. It made complete sense.
All the
to
guns
me.
from Tabor he just brings over into the game and takes whatever he wants.
100%. So yeah, no, to go check out Drop Dead The Cabin, especially their mixed reality mode. If you don't have it yet, we have an exclusive discount code for Rough Talk VR listeners. You can find that code easy to copy and paste right in our episode description, our show notes. And then we also have our classic sponsor, Manscaped, man. They've been a long time supporter at this point. So,
dude, I love the face shaver.
Yeah.
The electric one.
Have you been using it still?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I struggle with good electric razors. I always fall for the hype. But this one does the closest. There's just a couple of areas, like, for whatever reason, it's just hair on face. I can't get as close as I can with a razor. So what I'll do is I'll pre-shave for like 15 seconds before I shave my face, just to take off the bulk, and I find it so much easier to get a good shave.
Yeah, I've noticed even like today, it's a smoother shave than you had a couple months ago, to say the least. So, stay tuned for these ad reads. This wasn't the ad read. I know we kind of did a double dip. So, we'll have a message for Soul Assembly.
What am I going to do?
With Drop Dead The Cabin. Go check them out, and Manscaped, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Hey, everyone. We're taking a quick little break from our usual VR chat today to focus on something incredibly exciting for Quest users. Our new sponsor, Soul Assembly, creators of the thrilling VR co-op game Drop Dead The Cabin, now enhanced for the MetaQuest 3, introduces an electrifying mixed reality experience. In Drop Dead The Cabin, as night descends and zombies come your way, the game offers more than just survival. It brings a groundbreaking mixed reality mode called Home Invasion. Imagine your living room becoming part of the game, with zombies crashing into your real-world environment. This fusion of the virtual and real world elevates your game to an extraordinary level. It's not just playing, it's experience the game in your living space. You'll still enjoy the classic game modes, either teaming up with a friend in 2-player co-op or facing the terror alone. But Home Invasion adds a thrilling twist, blending your reality with the intense world of the game. Get ready for an exhilarating journey of survival, both in the virtual world and right in your home. The game continuously evolves with new updates and features, keeping the excitement fresh. And the best part, you get to experience this unique mixed reality environment where every corner of your room could hide a new challenge. So if you're ready to test your skills in this mixed reality setting and see if you can survive the horde, check out Drop Dead: The Cabin on the MetaQuest. Also, don't forget to join their Discord community to connect with other gamers and the developers themselves. We've also got a discount code for you for 10% off the game over the holidays, which can be applied at the checkout. That's going to be Rough Talk Podcast -04A 2D0. That again is Rough Talk Podcast -04A2D0. We can't wait to hear about your experiences, especially on the Home Invasion mixed reality mode. Dive into Drop Dead: The Cabin today and see how you fare in this immersive new reality. And again, that's discount code Rough Talk Podcast -04A 2D0 at checkout for an additional 10% off. It's Santa time. The season for a fresh cut is finally here with the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have just launched their 5th-generation lawnmower to help you avoid another silent night in the bedroom this year. Take care of your special snowflake with Manscaped and watch your South Pole shine like never before. Get the best stocking stuffer of all by going to manscaped.com and using the code word RoughTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Mrs. Claus will thank you. What could be better than giving the gift of good hygiene and a few laughs? Starting with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, this is the crown jewel of the holidays, and dare I say the best ball trimmer of all time. The electric razor's advanced skin-safe technology is a lifesaver and known for reducing nicks and cuts on his Santa sack. But the fun doesn't stop there. Anybody in the family have too much scruff? Look no further than Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit and Handyman Electric Face Shaver for all his facial hair needs. Dad have those nasty nose hairs? Save the day with the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer. Is there Boxer Game Week? Take care of the chestnuts with Manscaped's Boxers 2.0, featuring their signature jewel pouch to keep you calm, cool, and collected. Have their nails seen better days? Manscaped has you covered with the new Shears 3.0 nail grooming kit. You can get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RoughTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com for just using the code RoughTalkVR. Say ho 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 to a well-groomed mistletoe with Manscaped.
And we are back now that we got the games that we've been playing, out of the way. We can actually get to the news. I've been having a lot of fun though talking about the actual games on our agenda from the previous week and the upcoming week. That's a lot of fun. Getting a lot more game talk than we've been able to if we just go for one single episode or only talking the news. And as you can see, man, 30 minutes just shit talking talking shit about the latest and greatest with games. So it's definitely a fun way to start the episode. But we did have a lot of great news last week as well, like a much anticipated one. The Xbox Cloud Gaming app officially launched in beta on the Quest headsets.
Downloaded it the second it was available.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet, and I've heard everything from a 10 out of 10. It's amazing. Everything goes good, all the way down to the other side of the experience. People saying 1 out of 10, super high latency. The controller inputs are wrong. So, I mean, hey, it's still in beta, but it seems like a wide range of user results and experiences.
I don't know.
But
fired up for me.
It's cloud gaming, so I'm sure that there's so many variables that go into it, from individual game to game and just the way everything's functioning.
Some of it too is your own internet connection.
I was going to get into that part as well. There's so many variables.
An important factor. You're on Skylink there or whatever. Fucking satellite, shit's going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm excited, or DSL, God forbid.
Dial up.
Yeah. But I'm excited to check it out a bit more. I mean, I'll give a month of Game Pass a go to see how.
Dude, you know how many fucking games are in Game Pass?
You pretty much have an Xbox on your Quest for
and
a monthly cost.
They give you 3 different size TVs, and yeah, they're TVs, but they're TVs that I can't afford to own, nor do I have the wall space for.
Yeah, you're telling me the biggest one is quite huge, right?
Oh, it's like half the size of a theater screen. The small one's probably like an 80-inch, 70-inch.
Yeah. So I know that one was a huge feature
it's a curved TV. Not a
ever
flat.
since they first announced that Microsoft partnership, at this point, like a year ago, people have been, asking nonstop, when's that cloud gaming app coming? It was kind of like the second San Andreas with that.
Well, that's a game changer for travel too.
Yeah. Now you have an Xbox with you.
Mm-hmm. Just need the controller.
Correct. Yeah. You have to Bluetooth in an
Xbox
controller. Yeah. But that's fair. I think that's reasonable. How the inputs and
Not
stuff.
me.
How are you going to play those games with the touch controllers? That's not what it's made for. So, totally understandable. I'm excited to dive deeper in that. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, including myself. Hopefully next week I can give a little bit more of like in-depth experiences. Let's see what side of the spectrum I fall on. If I'm closer to the 1 out of 10, it's not working, or if everything goes kosher and I'm a 10 out of 10. We'll see. But, huge stuff nonetheless. And then we mentioned Smash Drums right before the ad break.
Boom, boom.
Honestly, it snuck up. I wasn't expecting this, but it's kind of become like my favorite rhythm game, especially to play in multiplayer with you. For me, it was always Ragnarok. And Ragnarok still might be number one. I'm like, might just be that this is my recent one I've been enjoying the most, but
Ragnarok's awesome.
Ragnarok's great as well. Both drumming, but Smash Drums, I've been having so much fun playing it with you recently. And they've been crushing it with expanding their music library with officially licensed tracks from like big name artists and stuff like that. They had a 70s, themed one. They had an 80s rock one. I thought 90s was coming next. And then they dropped what they call a punk pack. I don't know if I would call it punk. Most of it's like 2000s. Most of it's like 2000s rock that
There's
I remember.
One punk band on the list.
Remember listening to when I was like 8, but the tracks that they're dropping, this one is Blink 182, All the Small Things, Jimmy Eat World, Sweetness, The Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop, Sum 41, Fat Lip, and then the All American Rejects, Move Along, which the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop, I mean, that's OG, technically punk, right?
It falls in that similarity.
But, the rest of those, that's really not punk.
Where's the fucking Sex Pistols?
I know that's what you were hoping for. I know that's what you were hoping for.
Hello? I mean,
no,
where's Susie and the Banshees? I mean, yeah, what the fuck, man?
I think calling it the punk.
Where's
pack,
the Clash?
Yeah, might have.
Like, they could have so many different.
That one might have been risky to call it that, but it's still.
I really thought we were going to get God Save the Queen, to be honest with you.
It's still a step. Whether or not it's named appropriately is a conversation, but it's still a step forward towards expanding their officially licensed songs. That's not music for me, but the reality is,
I will not purchase it.
Yeah,
and that bums me out.
Totally get that, but you have to understand too, those are big artists for people that like that type of music. That's not exactly me, but they're obviously those tracks do sell quite a bit as well. So I understand why they did it. Again, it's probably not going to be a pack, just like you said, that I'm probably not going to pick it up.
If I bought it, it would be just probably for the Ramones.
Or just a completionist aspect
to
own every song.
Bums me out.
I know you didn't even have to say anything to me. I just know you enough to know that there's at least a percentage of you that's debating on grabbing it.
Yeah,
not because you'll play it.
Just because I want to have it in the collection.
Because you already own all of them.
There's nothing that's really sucking me in.
Mm-hmm. But again, for some people, that's the music they like. So, I mean, great that they expanded towards that, but probably wouldn't have named it the punk pack. But still,
I also don't think they do research study on their demographic that's playing it to make that decision, or they probably wouldn't have chose that group. that group of bands.
That's true.
I'm willing to bet the demographic that really plays it is older, not
I guess the only people that will know that is them with their sales, which is the easiest way.
I can't even see younger people being like,
I could. No.
All these bands.
I could 100%. I know a bunch of people that love those.
Bunch of 16-year-olds.
No, there'd be people in their late 20s and 30s.
Well, that's not. I'm talking teens, man. Like the teen demographic.
Okay. Well,
18, 20-year-old, they'll remember like all of those except probably the Ramones.
I'm going to pee myself if the Smash Drums developers come out and go, hey, this was our best-selling DLC.
No way. I shouldn't. I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm just like you're putting it against like Motley Crue and Bon Jovi and ZZ Top.
I don't look. I've said it myself too. It's not music for me, but I think you're being a little biased in this because it's not music you enjoy. I mean, I
like the Ramones.
Correct. I mean, but those other songs.
I've heard all the other bands.
Yeah, I'm not a Blink.
When you're classifying it as punk,
correct.
That's where I'm going to make the argument that why didn't we go to the beginning?
I agree. I don't think it's named appropriately, but I'm willing to bet it sells pretty damn good. I'm pretty confident on that. But they'll know though. But what I like to see,
I don't think it won't sell. I just don't think it's going to sell as well.
Only one group of people. Well, actually two, because Meta will know.
They get a cut.
Yeah. So I guess Meta and the Smash Drums developers will know, and it's up to them if they want to share any of that info.
But if they expand on that with an additional DLC that's real punk.
Correct.
I'll be all over.
I was the first thing I said was that the naming was wrong. No argument for me there. But what is really impressive is this is every couple weeks we're talking about Smash Drums with a new DLC. It's not like this has been over the last 12 months. Yeah, no.
Nope. I'm liking that there seems to be a lot of momentum within the studio.
Mm-hmm. I doubt it's ending with this, right?
When I got it figured out too, because they got everything running really well now. They know how to do it.
They got the mixed reality.
It's official. You can buy, so just took a lot of time to make sure everything was ironed out. Now that they do, now they can start integrating all the music that they want to.
I just hope at some point we can use those tracks in multiplayer.
We're going to get some Iron Maiden.
Oh my God, dude. There's so much potential. And I do actually agree with something that you had kind of touched on, that I think that they should stick with the more classic rock as well. I do agree that that's more of their market of players as well. No disagreement.
I thought how funny it would be if they were able to pick up a Grateful Dead DLC, but somehow convert over one of the live shows, like a good 14-minute song.
Unplugged would be good for that too.
Yeah, I thought of that.
Both of those.
Any of the instrument ones.
Yeah,
just going on those free because it's funny because they're just free jamming, but to have to put that to an actual
play Fire on the Mountain and Unplugged.
Oh my God, dude.
That's reasons like that is why we don't get the modding and Unplugged, because we'll be doing 20 minutes of Fire on the Mountain in one track.
They they definitely the Inagata DeVita.
Oh my goodness.
Wait for one. Just one, dude. Somebody's got it.
So I'm surprised that none of these rhythm games have dropped a Grateful Dead music pack yet, because they're
I know why. Fucking it's way too expensive. The licensing for Grateful Dead, they're whores, dude.
Yeah.
They can fuck off. They are not what they used to be. It's more about that money now than fucking saving rainforest, that's for sure.
But nonetheless, so
I love the Dead. But that's the only thing I can think is like, and what song choices you'd get would be like the radio versions one.
You know what I think is the big,
not the best anyways.
I wonder if a big holdup is that so much of their well-known songs are covers in the end. Like they're not the creator of it musically.
Mm-hmm.
If that
so
makes
you're
sense.
paying royalties to everybody.
Yeah. At that point, who do you pay for? Like, I Know You Rider. They didn't. That's an old folk song. Who's that? Who do you go to for that? Even if it's the Grateful Dead version, so is that technically theirs that you license, or do you license the estate of whoever originally wrote it?
Whoever owns the song.
That's so complicated,
Who's saying it? Who owns it?
So I feel like that might be a big roadblock and why we don't have a Grateful Dead pack in any rhythm song as well. It's like the licensing in that is probably so
expensive.
It's super stupid expensive and just probably stupid complicated in comparison to something that's like, Blink 182. I think it would be fun. I would buy it.
You'd have to charge like $20 for it.
Mm-hmm. Do drums in Smash Drums.
It's funny because that's the one that like, I'm like, ooh, they own that.
Yeah.
There was nothing,
Yeah. Have Mickey Hart kind of do a custom layout just for that one, Yeah. No, too much money.
If they did an unplugged Grateful Dead song, they'd have to give you one less finger for Jerry. Otherwise, it wouldn't be authentic.
But no. Hey, if I play a Grateful Dead song on a guitar, I don't need to cut off my finger to do it. I just because he didn't have 5 fingers doesn't mean I.
No, if it's gonna be Jerry, you gotta have the just like all the Jerry shirts with the missing finger.
But so great stuff from Smash Drums. Maybe not my number one.
No, they're
DLC,
doing
but
really good, dude.
We'll probably talk about them in a couple weeks with a new pack. So they're crushing it. I can't wait to see what's coming next.
They doing the Madonna pack next.
I hope we get a 90s pack. Let's see. Because we went 70s, 80s, then right to this. I hope we get a 90s. It only seems right.
Fucking Slipknot.
But one of the best games of the year, in my opinion, Dungeons of Eternity. We had so much fun with it.
I won't argue that.
I mean, it's been so good. And the developers, they are already putting out updates, including last week. They put out their first big content update. It's a holiday update, and they added a plethora of stuff. I don't want to read it all, but they added stuff like, new holiday cosmetics, new holiday weapons, Santa's fireball staffs, and candy cane axes. They added snowball and Christmas tree ornaments to throw and break. New seasonal snow areas in Underworld. So, I mean, that's incentive to go in now because those are seasonal. They're going to be gone. They also added 20 plus new dungeon chambers, private room codes to make joining rooms easier, which was a little bit of a complaint that some people had with the game.
How did they add 20 plus dungeon chambers? Okay, so they added 20 more dungeon outlines.
Well,
then it'll generate the. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, 20 plus new possibilities of different randomly generated room varieties to go into is how I understand that, as well as temporary seasonal ones. Then they also added dungeon difficulties. The previous difficulty recommended is the selected and default one, but now they have difficulties with it. 3 new enemies: an imp monster, an ice golem, and a legendary skeleton boss. They added arrows and crossbow bolts can now be grabbed, knocked, and loaded via the index finger. New dungeon music tracks. This one might be you, buddy. Added anti-troll elapsed time check to the dungeon raid exit drone. If the host and another player are ready to return to the outpost, a third player won't prevent them. The host should hop off the teleport zone if they wanted to delay a return. I remember, we had even commented that you could hold people hostage. We never did it, but we knew that potential was there. And then, they added some different improvements, different upgrades, different enhancements, different fixes. So great stuff from Othergate, the developers of Dungeons of Eternity. They put out a roadmap a couple weeks after release and are already holding true with it. This holiday update sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, and the studio's no joke. They knew what they were doing before they even started making the game.
Former Oculus employees, and some of them, they worked also at ID Software. I mean, that interview with Ryan Rutherford, that was a Rutherford. That was a great one.
What's cool is they're not taking the game too serious.
No,
because they're willing to have fun with it,
like Santa stuff.
Imagine the amount of
holiday
fucking programming
cosmetics
they had to do to add this just for holiday enjoyment and to put smile, just to make it funny.
And most of it's going to go away. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not most of it. Let me rephrase. Some of it
till next year,
like the seasonal stuff. Do you think those weapons are going to be in permanently, or do you think that's like maybe you have the opportunity to get them temporarily?
I don't see them keeping candy cane axes for the whole year.
How I think it'll be is if you get it now, you'll probably be able to use it whenever, right? It's connected to your account. But if you don't get it now, maybe you can't get it everywhere. That's how I initially imagined it.
I don't know, man.
To me, I saw this update and I was like, damn, this is a hop in now update because it's seasonal. There's content that I'm never going to see if I don't get it now. So, I mean, the developers.
I do wonder if you get to keep the.
You got to. But I don't know if you'll have the ability to get them throughout the whole year.
No, well,
I'd be pissed if I unlocked it and then come February, it's gone.
It'd be slightly weird to be playing it outside of the holidays and like dude's got the Santa hat on. Yeah, it's the other thing. Can you wear your Santa hat all year?
Maybe if you get it now.
I don't know, folks.
I don't know
Go
if
in
you'll be
there
able to
and
get it in
all the
March.
cosmetics that they got, get all the weaponry they got, just in case.
And they have more to come next year. So
yeah, their roadmap is sick.
yeah,
This game's just going to get better and better.
huge props to the developers. I'm so excited to check this one out and also see what other surprises they have in store coming in 2024. Definitely have to get Ryan back on in the future. But also, got to give a shout out to Ghosts of Tabor, obviously one of our favorite games. A little bit of knuckle love. We haven't been doing the worst in our runs and our raids recently.
Dude, don't jinx it, man.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we do die still. I mean, even the other day we were playing and
we got sniped.
we both had this. we were like, do we go to the docks or do we go to like the bunker areas? I don't know the official name for it, I guess, but I'd always call it the bunkers where there's like 6 of them and then the building,
all the
warehouses, and you're guaranteed good freaking loot there. But you're almost as guaranteed as good loot. You
guaranteed a good fight.
Correct. There's always somebody there. So we were both like, let's go to the docks. Let's go to the docks. We passed that and we're like, do you want to check it out? And we both had that gut feeling of like, good loot, but always a fight. All right, let's go for the loot, which was mistake number 1. And we got lit the fuck up in that area. But other than that one run where we didn't listen to our gut.
I had so much loot.
I know. We should have just gone to the docks. Loot. I don't feel bad about that one though, because we knew what the correct thing to do was and we just ignored it. Mm-hmm. Like that we deserve it.
Yeah, greed. We were greedy.
Even last night we were doing a run and everything was going good, and from a distance dude, an NPC started to light us up.
Dude, he almost killed me.
And then
he was far away.
So we made it to the docks. Another situation that we were heading to docks. It's not that we always go to the docks either. But like we made it there. Boom, we loot up and we get out. And I was like, dude, the fact that we were able to navigate that whole situation, make it out alive, I thought we were dead. So we've been having some good runs mostly recently, as long as we listen to our gut. But Ghosts of Tabor, they dropped a new update last week, introducing a new DLC, the UWU DLC. And then they also added, I like this one a lot, a new end screen to the raids that gives an awesome breakdown.
Better breakdown.
Which, hey, by the way, they were quick to add the VR awards to the loading screen.
Oh, they had shit up like the day after.
Yeah, and I believe in this update, they even said they added a trophy somewhere in the outpost. So, the developers, man, they're badass. But this UWU DLC, it dropped with a whole bunch of kind of like anime skinned guns. The trailer for it is freaking badass. If you watch it, I mean, their
trailers for everything they do are crazy good.
They crushed it.
Them and Breachers.
What I like a lot about this update, though, is yes, it brought in the DLC, but it's something that Fish had kind of commented when we talked with him on Tabor Radio, that they really want to focus on improvements and fixes and enhances versus adding in more content right at this moment. And if you look through, the bug fixes and improvements, dude, fixed. I mean, they're holding true to that. So yes, we did get new content, the new loading screen, the trophy, the DLC, but they're really working on optimizing and fixing up this game. And we've heard them say publicly multiple times now, expected release date on the official MetaQuest store of early 2024. So they're doing the right thing.
Which means March.
Yeah, that's my gut. I feel like March, April, it would be
kickoff spring.
It would be beautiful to me to
spring
launch
into Tabor.
Obviously, this is easy for me to say. There's so many factors that dictate when a game's going to launch, its performance, as well as the platform's schedule as well. Meta could say, no, not that date, right? But if it was me and I was able to write any story, it would be to launch on the official MetaQuest store the same day, a year after they launched on App Lab. That would be the most beautiful way to do it. Exactly 1 year later.
Just for your own personal benefit?
Well, that's just a beautiful story. right? I mean, that's a storybook. So if I could write it any way, it would go down like that.
The
Of course,
storybook is, hey, by the way, it's coming out the day before Christmas.
Christmas, yeah, and it's coming out with the Quest 3.
That is the storybook.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah, that'll be the bundle from January to March.
Yeah, after the Asgard Draft 2 bundle ends, then it's Ghosts of Tabor. That would be sick.
With Ghosts of Tabor skinned
Yeah.
controllers.
No, but I'm telling you, aim for that exact 1 year anniversary. I doubt that's going to happen though. But that's like a snowfall on Christmas.
No,
It's
but you
too good to be true.
Look at the amount of improvements that every time they're doing a fix. I mean, then they'll even like sometimes like make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, well, you know, a couple of things, but there's usually a ton of things that they take care of. But you see it tightening up even more now. So it's all gearing up to that launch for sure.
Yeah, and I mean.
It ran real good last night,
dude.
So
it's the best it's ever been. When's the last
every
time we
time
had
they
a
do
crash?
an update, it's always better than.
When's the last time we had a crash?
Knock on wood.
It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't
time
happen
ago.
for us anymore.
It's almost pointless to talk about the old days of Tabor because there's so many new players that they just won't. It's meaningless.
Mhm.
It's like. You could be like, yeah, there was a day you'd go in and your backpack wouldn't be there sometimes.
Oh, remember when we'd be scared to climb
like,
the
what?
ladder?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, the game's...
dude, the game's been running great.
It's functioning great. It looks beautiful on the Quest 3.
Yeah, it does.
You know, so...
PC VR players, though, hats off.
Yeah,
'Cause it looks
I'm jealous on that
amazing.
one. That's one of the few titles that I'm jealous for sure.
The fund is getting closer, though, so...
But dude, it's not even on my list to talk about. Another one of those PC VR titles. I talk about it every couple weeks. Wanderers,
Grim.
Maybe if we say Grim 3 times,
Grim.
Spoon-fed will appear on the screen to hype up Grim a little bit. You know, there's very few titles that I'm jealous of the PC VR crowd for, either because we don't have it on the Quest or, you know, the difference in versions. One of those, Ghosts of Tabor, without a doubt. I want that PC VR version. And another one was always Wanderer. And I'm so hyped for their Quest version coming out next year. Yeah, their social media, they're doing a great job. They'll post, you know, I talked about this the other week. I'm so hyped for it. You know, the side by side of, or kind of top down, you know, one on top, one on bottom of the Quest version and the PlayStation VR 2 version. So you really get a comparison, and they're killing it. I mean, it looks very similar, looks very good. So I'm so hyped for Wanderer as well. But just to kind of wrap up the Tabor talk, huge props as always to Combat Waffle Studios.
Only just begun, dude.
Oh my goodness. Like you said, Grim, Silent North. Silent North is kind of ramping up a bit their social media and Discord activity, it seems. So definitely give those a follow on social media. And man, this next year for Combat Waffle Studios is going to be intense. Grim. I'm so excited for it. But another game that we love, Breachers. You know, a great 5v5 shooter on Quest.
Best 5v5 on the Quest.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about that specific genre of shooter, 5v5, Breachers wins. And, you know, they do have other game modes, like a deathmatch, a more like not capture the flag, but hold the location mode. But the 5v5 kind of Counter-Strike mode, you know, that's the mode that I love. You know, that's Breachers to me.
Sure wish they do a CS map.
And
said that to him too, didn't I? Dust too. Yeah.
You've said it since the first day we played it.
That's, you know, once I get Grim out of my system, because then that'll feed that itch. The next will be me whining about someone. Why can't you port Counter-Strike over? I mean, dude, the early 1.6 is real.
It's only a matter of time.
Minecrafty, so.
But the Breachers developers, Triangle Factory, you know, they've done a great job of keeping Breachers up to date with new content, you know, whether that's game modes or new maps. Like in this case, they added a new Artic map that looks pretty freaking sweet. And this trailer was a little bit more of the cinematic kind, not in a way that's like not real game footage.
Yeah.
But like made in the game engine where they're like manipulating the characters in a specific way.
No,
you know,
they got a great marketing team, dude.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of a Tabor quality trailer, because that's how Tabor does their trailer. Sometimes they'll do it a little bit more cinematic.
Theirs are tight.
Cinematic, but still in the game. It's important when I say cinematic. You know, if I just heard cinematic, I would get the visual of like not real game graphics. made CGI just completely unrealistic to what the actual game is. But I love when these developers, they make the trailers inside the engine with the actual game, but just manipulating it in a specific way for the trailer, because you get a little bit of that entertainment value of a more cinematic style, but it's still realistic to what you experience visually in the game.
Actual in-game footage.
Yeah, so that's a great way that developers are starting to do it more and more. And, the Breachers trailer was a good one.
Well, when you have a game that's worth it to do it with, because there's some games that if you did it, it just wouldn't make sense.
Correct.
Where something like Breachers
or Tabor
makes total sense. You can follow the characters, all the different rooms.
And in full transparency, I have not checked out yet the Artic update. It's just been a crazy week of content and busyness with the holidays. And dude, Asgard's Wrath 2. We made it. We did good though with Arizona Sunshine 2 that we had it finished right before Asgard's Wrath 2.
Didn't touch Asgard's Wrath 2 until we were finished.
Nope. And
I almost contemplated on not touching it till we were done with Assassin's Creed, but I shit all over that. I was like, dude, do you expect me not to play the biggest content game of the year?
I'm wondering if now that I've done a little bit of it, if now I can just white knuckle through Nexus. Because now I've at least experienced it once, but damn, my experience in Asgard's Wrath 2 was so good. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can ignore it. Oh man, what a great end of the year.
Right there in your top 3 or 4 every time you look at your page.
But I'm really excited to check out this new Breachers map when I get the chance. But huge props to Triangle Factory. That those developers continue to crush it. And on the software side, Meta dropped some kind of nice stuff for developers in the sense that they dropped their full body tracking, quote unquote. It's not real full body tracking. A lot of it's done through AI and prediction, but they have full upper body tracking now, which they were showing off with some different clips. And it looks really smooth. And by full upper body, I'm talking arms, elbows, forearms, shoulder. Like it's got everything with it. And then they're also bringing in for developers to start to integrate AI tracked legs on the meta avatars, which looked tight. And I mean, what was cool is in the media that they put out what it was great at, where it really shines. And then they also showed like, hey, this is a limitation of it right now. They bring the knee up to the chest, it doesn't track. They had the guy sit down and then cross his legs, it didn't track. But for small jumps, the most movement, it looked really tight. So those features are coming for developers to start to integrate and play with and hopefully add to their games. But also they added mixed reality occlusion support, which is huge. We just talked with Jim Norris from Drop Dead the Cabin, last week, and that was actually something he said that, not having it can even be a little immersion break. Like it's something that they're waiting very patiently for, and then a couple days later it comes out. So obviously developers, they need to play with these things. It's not ready yet, but it's really cool to see that in the coming weeks, the coming months, we'll start to see them added. And occlusion is like, man, when you see the difference with no occlusion and occlusion, it that does it better than anything. Where, when there's no occlusion, an object in mixed reality, it can't like go behind your table. It's kind of like stickered, pasted just on your screen in front of everything.
It's an overlay.
Yeah, it's much more obviously of an overlay at least. And then the occlusion allows it to kind of have some depth and integration into your actual environment. Walk behind the TV, go behind the door, whatever, or the doorway, the door frame. And again, it's such a huge difference, especially for an app like Drop Dead the Cabin or other mixed reality experiences coming out. So I'm excited for developers to start to actually play with the tracked upper body, the AI tracked lower body, as well as the occlusion. I mean, I was instantly thinking, can this shit support boxing with no controllers yet? I mean, we got to be getting pretty freaking close.
Probably close.
I don't know if we're there yet, but I mean, we got to be close. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what that brings. And then also in the software side of things, the other week in the Quest Developer Hub. So I'm not saying to do this, but I've heard, some people do. They put their headset in developer mode, and that gives you access to some other features that aren't initially there on your headset, such as using the developer hub on your computer, which has really cool features like their new casting feature, which it just came out the other week. Initially, you had to plug in your headset in developer mode, plug it into the computer, open up the developer hub, and then you could cast with an uncropped landscape sized video to your computer. And it was the best quality one that exists with all the other methods of, the Chromecast and then capture that screen, or go into SideQuest and use their built-in feature, or go to the casting tab, the web page. This feature is working the best, but you had to be plugged in with a wire. And now just this past week, they added it, quote unquote, wirelessly. So now you can wirelessly cast if your headset's in developer mode to your computer with their new casting feature. Everybody says it works better than all the other ones. We need to get more into live streaming games and stuff like that. I probably would have used it by now if we did. Fortunately,
when they took away the ability to do it so easily,
to Facebook?
Yeah, I just
we used to live stream to Facebook.
I'll do it
way back in the day. I think you can again.
Yeah,
to Facebook,
Instagram. I just haven't seen. I don't know if you can.
Well, we've live streamed a few times, and I've
have to see after I record something.
Yeah, every time that we do our live streams on YouTube with gaming, I always use the browser tab where I'll go to, whatever the website is, oculus.com/casting or whatever. I don't know if it's still oculus.com/casting or if it's meta.com/casting, whichever one of the two. And then, you go in your headset, you hit cast, and then boom, you go to that webpage, and you full screen it. Unfortunately, when you full screen and then make it landscaped in that method, it does crop some of the video. You lose some of your view. That's something that's so big about the developer hub method, is that it's full uncropped landscape, which for a game like Demio, we were live streaming it, and I actually realized I couldn't do it in landscape mode in that method, because it would cut off the game board from my view unless I wanted to look super far down.
Fuck that.
So then I had to do the more square streaming style where it cut off the edges. It's so right then and there you can see the benefit of it. So for content creators or developers that like to record footage for trailers and stuff like that, just getting easier and easier, So huge props to that feature. Hopefully we see better and better live streams as time goes on. And then last little bit of news, a kind of good little sales thing. It came out that the Quest outsold AirPods on Black Friday.
And AirPod Pro.
And I should specify it's the Quest 3 that outsold them specifically, because one could say, oh, well, it's the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 combined, or it's the Quest 2. No, it's the Quest 3 outsold AirPods on Black Friday. That's pretty huge.
It's, yeah.
AirPods are that's one of Apple's more popular products.
Once I think we talked last week that once we start seeing the numbers roll in from what's real, because there's a lot of people post speculation. Then there's always the Meta's bankrupt, which is my absolute fucking favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Multi-billion-dollar companies is no longer billion. What are you even thinking you're talking about?
Or the people that think that they spent billions upon billions on Horizon Worlds, but it's no, it's the research and development for technology that doesn't exist until they start to do it, like occlusion.
So once we start seeing the real numbers, but that's a very positive sign, or it's a very sad sign for Apple. Where one would think, but the AirPods, in all fairness, are not they've been around forever, man. It's not like some state of the art new shit.
Correct. In fairness there, but they are an established product that sells very well.
Did it outsell Christmas more than the latest iPhones? I mean, I don't know. It was a weird comparison, but it was still a good read.
Good benchmark. Well, there's another one that went right with that for Black Friday, that a UK research firm said that the Black Friday weekend was the highest revenue.
I did not know the UK had a Black Friday.
I think it's pretty.
That's some American shit right there.
Yeah, I know. So,
well, I think just saying. That's why I gave him more credit than that. Is what it is. I swear to God, I'm like, wow, how trashy.
Well, you think of it in the world of e-commerce and stuff. I mean, how could you not take advantage of it in another country?
They have a specific day for e-commerce. It's the Black Friday of e-commerce.
Yeah, but I think, maybe if there wasn't the internet and stuff, but I think that kind of forces every country to partake.
Black Friday's technically your like stores. That's what you go to.
Well, 20 years ago, but all of my Black Friday.
That's why they have Cyber Monday, bro.
I don't know.
You're supposed to follow the rules. You go to your mom and pops and your chains on Friday.
That's not based on.
And then you go to the
that's
internet
not based on
freaking Monday.
Maybe
that's also why you'll see better internet sales on Monday for Cyber Monday than you will on Black Friday for the same item.
I know so many places that did the same exact sales, digital and in person, for Black Friday. I think 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, but I mean, in 2023, it's like an extended Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Most of it's digital.
I promise you, on Cyber Monday, you have deals that don't exist on Black Friday.
Not arguing that one bit,
guaranteed. But now, as far as Black Friday specials,
what I'm saying is that
that's where deals were. Years ago, they changed that. Wasn't always that way. Like, just it was, they were called doorbusters. If you weren't there, you couldn't get the deal. Now you don't have to be there for the deal. You can get it on the internet from the same store. They're just allowing that. But they could have easily have kept true to you have to be in store on day of to get it. And that's what drove people to the stores at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's also what got people stampeded to death. I don't think retail stores, that was their exact favorite thing to have to deal with either.
It was rare. It was so rare.
Well,
so
I'm not saying also.
issue.
Whoa! Not only stamping to death wasn't their favorite deal, with the actual retail day of Black Friday, if it's only available in person, was not the best experience for the retail employees. I think everybody wins with it being available digital as well.
I hear you,
but it's kind of missing my point too. That a lot of Black Friday deals are available online. That's my only point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it kind of forces the whole world to kind of partake because, well, I might live in.
I just gave the UK more credit.
I might live in Britain, but if I see that shit's on sale in the America store for half off and it's not in the UK store, I'm still buying it, so the whole world's got to partake in it. Yeah, everything's digital these days. But no, the UK marketing firm said that, Black Friday 2023 was the biggest revenue week for VR in the UK ever.
That's freaking awesome.
I wonder how these research firms get that info. No idea.
2 people.
Right? Like, how are stores giving up all their revenue? Like, how do you figure that out? It's a very interesting one, but it kind of correlates good with the Quest 3 outselling the AirPod for Black Fridays. Just sounds like the Quest had a good little Black Friday little spike. That's always cool. And something I missed. There's a 3v3 hero shooter that came out last week called Shootout for free on the Quest. And at first, I didn't think I was even going to talk about it today. I was like, nah, there's a lot of XVX shooters, whether that's 3v3 or 5v5 or whatever. But then we were watching the trailer, and this one almost has a little Mother Gunship Forge element to it with the building the guns.
Has gun attachments.
Yeah, to create your own unique gun, though. I mean, I was kind of sold off that, and it's free on the MetaQuest, which always free gets me a little skeptical of microtransactions and stuff like that.
I didn't see it blatantly smeared all over the place, so
I'm
curious how they're going to make their money.
If it's skins, I can get with it. As long as it's nothing that gives you a playing advantage. But we'll see. It's free though, so as long as I get the time, I'll check it out. I can't believe we're hitting this point in VR where it's like the issue is time to play the games. I remember when we first started the podcast, like there would be hey, what do you want to play this week? How about this? We kind of like pick and chose a different game. At this point, by the end of 2023, we are overwhelmed with stuff to choose from. So that's a great problem to have. But if we get a moment, we'll definitely have to check out Shootout. Free on the MetaQuest. Sweet. Anything
leery of free.
Yeah, we've argued it with developers. Like with the developer,
it turns me off, man.
I'd rather pay $4.99 even $9.99.
So if you're saying free, it's like you're not. I don't feel like you're putting your all into. Charge me something.
I'd rather the Demio Battles mentality of charge me the money and then give me unlockables in the game through progression. Don't give me
just
free.
the free unit scares me because I just don't know how they.
Imagine if Demio Battles was free, but then you went in and the new maps, the new characters, all that cost $1.99 each. It would very much turn you off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'd rather spend whatever the cost of the game is, go in and play the game and unlock the stuff. That's more fun to me. So
Yeah, I want to try it though.
yeah,
Because every free thing, Gods of Gravity and
we end up biting our
Cards and Tankards. I'm like, oh, I wish I had tried that sooner.
end up shooting ourselves in the foot with it. You
And
know,
we talked to them and then we're like, why are you not charging for it?
which in fairness, I think there has been a couple of free ones that we've just never talked about that didn't go so well. But no, there's definitely
They weren't worth free.
but
Free was way too much.
there's definitely been some free to play ones that, like you said, Gods of Gravity, so freaking good. Cards
And I do get it
Tankards.
for doing testing purposes.
Correct.
Like, hey, we'll let you try it for free.
Like-
Hopefully you break it,
like
and
Dragon
then we
Fist
can
VR.
make it better.
Remember they gave their VR mode
Mhm.
for free? I don't know if it still
Same
is.
thing with
Iron Guard VR
Iron Guard.
with their mixed reality. 100%. I agree. For testing, that's a
Yeah,
great way to
It's
do
home
it.
run. You're gonna get a ton of data back.
Or you do it like Combat Waffle. You drop that game in early access of beta, and it sells millions, becomes
Yeah, but-
best-selling game,
Dude,
still
you-
in
you
early
better
access
have-
of beta.
You better have thick skin to pull that shit off because
Yeah.
it's not all kind words.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But they do a great job keeping their community in line, as non-toxic as can be with like 75K people. I mean, geez, that Discord is reproductive. It's a bunch of bunnies in there. That number constantly grows. You know what? Real quick before we wrap this up, let me pull up what their actual Discord amount is. They have 75,000 people. 75,742. So yeah, 75K people in that Discord. That's intense, dude. Fuck, man.
They'll hit 100K.
Yeah. How long you think it'll take? I'm guessing official store release. You think they're going to have 100K by then or no?
Probably like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll have 100K before they launch on the store.
I'd say 25 weeks.
I would like to think that you just made up that number, but at the same time, we've monitored.
Thousand
Yeah.
a week.
I was going to say we monitored
25
their
weeks.
growth. It makes sense. 100%. That sounds right. So, no, fun episode today. News is always one of my favorites. We have another great interview dropping later this week as well. So stay tuned for that. Like we always say, if you'll enjoy the episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Woo. Woo.
That's right around the corner.
Happy upcoming
End
new
of this
year.
week.
Yeah. Woo. It came so fast.
Mhm.
And I know that's like the generic thing. People, hey, you get your Christmas shopping, come. Ha ha ha. Really snuck up this year. But damn, it really does feel like it snuck up so fast this year. So happy holidays to everyone. We'll have another episode before then, but good to say it in case we forget and everything like that.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest
The
of
next one's more professional.
Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back with you, like you said, another interview later this week. And check you out. Ciao, ciao.